What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, you would normally think something as cold and hard, as factual as numbers would avoid the same subjectivity that creeps in when you start quantifying art, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Any good statistician will tell you that it's not the numbers themselves, but the story that they tell, and in the translation of that story, sometimes you can see completely different things. That's what we have this morning, because depending on which article you opened up in relation to how well the tickets sold for Captain America Brave New World over the weekend and since Friday, you would see two totally different stories where one outlet says it's a disaster and the other outlet says that it's actually tracking pretty good. We're going to break down both articles, what the numbers actually mean, and as I iterated in my most previous video talking about Marvel bumping up their marketing in that final trailer, I think it's all actually spelling very good news for Captain America's bottom line. Is it going to make as much as Infinity War? Absolutely not. But it doesn't have to. We're breaking it all down, the cold hard facts, well, as much as they are, for this morning's ticket sale update for Captain America Brave New World. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. If that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you for our PS5 giveaways. We'll get into the giveaway stuff at the end of the video. Okay, so the very first article I want to cover is by CBR.com, where they go on to say Captain America Brave New World ticket pre-sales trail this recent MCU flop. The article continues by reporting, quote, Captain America Brave New World may be in a world of trouble if early indicators stay true. The penultimate Phase 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe film's ticket pre-sales trail a recent and infamous Marvel flop, providing potential warning signs for its box office run. According to box office analyst Luis Fernando via comicbookmovie.com, Brave New World's pre-sales since tickets went on sale last Friday are nearly 1.5 times better than the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. However, the fourth installment in the Captain America film series, Early Returns, are on par with the Eternals, and, quote, nowhere near the maligned Phase 5 opener, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It then concludes by saying Brave New World struggles to surpass Eternals and Quantumania's pre-sales are cause for concern considering how both films finished at the box office. Eternals ended with $402 million worldwide, with critics and audiences lamenting it as one of the MCU's most disappointing entries. Meanwhile, Quantumania, which stars the since-fired Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, started well with $120 million domestically during its 4-day opening in 2023, the best of all the Ant-Man trilogy. However, Quantumania's momentum slowed significantly, ending with $476 million at the global box office against a $330 million budget, only earning a small profit. But let's pretend randomly that instead of the algorithm giving you the CBR.com article we just read, they give you this one from Game Rant, talking about the exact same topic under the headline, Captain America Brave New World's ticket pre-sales outpacing previous Marvel bombs, where they go on to say, quote, Captain America Brave New World is off to a good start, sort of. With less than a month to its cinematic debut, the MCU 2025's opener ticket pre-sales have been better than previous Marvel bombs, but nowhere near the numbers of MCU high days. They then go on to talk about the exact same analyst and his numbers, but spin it in a way where it makes it sound like Captain America is not going to be a billion-dollar blockbuster, but is going to perform on par with other Marvel movies, sort of in the way that you would expect. But the important point that this article makes, at least 3 times subtly throughout the report, is that the days are gone where every single Marvel movie is going to track upwards of $1 billion. It's just a different time. I'm going to stop short of saying superhero fatigue, because if that actually existed, we would have been over Marvel and DC characters decades ago. They're still going strong, maybe stronger than any other IP, not to mention going on some of the oldest that haven't hit public domain yet. So short of saying that, we're just in a different place with cinema, and Marvel movies, they don't have the same shine because they've made so many of them, and some of them that have underperformed. But it is not a failure if a movie comes out and makes $100 million in its opening weekend, as it's still projected to do, and paces about $500 million. Yes, the budget on these films is a lot more than, say, other budgets. Yes, the expectation for Marvel movies is still pretty high, but you ask any movie studio how they would feel about a $500 million or a $400 million box office blockbuster at their studio, and they would 100% take that. And so I think it is high time now we stop sounding the alarm or spinning things the way CBR.com just did this morning when a Marvel movie doesn't automatically track $1 billion. I'm sure Kevin Feige and co. would love for Captain America Brave New World to do $1 billion or something close to it at the box office. It's the Captain America franchise. They brought in Harrison Ford. They have high hopes for it. They spent a year and a lot of money doing reshoots. but they also know what the reality is. They are not mystified when a movie comes out and doesn't do $1 billion. But as I said in my previous video on this, that's not even the full story, because as both articles insinuated, these Marvel movies tend to go now off of word of mouth or how good they are, because Marvel fans will go to see a Marvel movie again, especially if it's good and in the theaters. They'll go several times. I already have tickets for 2 showings of Captain America Brave New World, and if it's bad, I'm going to sit through the second one anyway. If it's good, I might even go see it a couple more times. That's the kind of fan that I am. Other Marvel fans will do the same. So if this movie comes out and it's actually awesome, I think that the projections will be on the low side, which means this thing might creep north of 500 or 600 million. It'll still fall short of Deadpool and Wolverine and Avengers Doomsday, but it's not supposed to do those numbers. So it actually may overperform not only its projections right now, but the internal expectations at Marvel Studios. They are not going through this thing blind. They have seen Phase 4 and Phase 5 results. This is the last movie in Phase 5. They know exactly where they're at. When I say they, I mean Disney and Marvel. They know what the numbers on this will probably look like. They know they might take a small loss after you add up the $125 million in marketing, and the theaters take half of the box office. They might not make money on this thing, but it doesn't mean it's a failure if it's a good movie. And if it is a good movie, it might actually have legs well beyond what people are saying are going to happen now. And look, I think that unfortunately, like some other Marvel movies here in the past, the Marvels especially, you have a lot of haters who are creating this sort of buzz of white noise that, you know, maybe has sort of pervaded a lot of Marvel projects here recently. That's unfair to any movie. And a lot of other movies don't have to face that right off of the bat because they're not tied to some huge franchise that has a bunch of wins, but maybe some more recent losses. So in that respect, I think you just have to become accustomed to that white noise and the negativity in the same way you have to stop thinking that every Marvel movie is going to make $1 billion. And I feel like a lot of the fan base here at the channel are pretty level-headed about that stuff. And ultimately, we're going to go see it and judge the movie on its merits and don't care how much money it made. If it's a good MCU movie, it's a good MCU movie. It doesn't matter to me what the box office take is. The only reason those numbers are important is obviously Disney, Marvel, it's all a business. And if they can't continue to be profitable, that becomes a problem when you have shareholders and investor meetings and you have to disclose your earnings quarterly. You can end up running into problems. The thing is, though, is that something for like Marvel Entertainment is cashing out in so many different ways across so many different brands and medias and the toys. It's very hard to quantify what a Captain America Brave New World movie is actually worth outside of the box office when you add up all of the plastic toys and all of the digital sales and imprints of the merch and everything else that gets sold. It ends up being quite a bit more than just what you're seeing at the theater. In a lot of cases, toys can completely outrun a box office. They make way more money off the toys. So if they lose a little money on the movie but end up selling, 600 million in toys, did they make money or did they lose it? That's why this is complicated, and you can't just look at projections for ticket sales and tell whether a movie is going to bomb. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below, though, in the comments. As always, we're still giving away the PS5s. Just be a sub, leave a comment on the video because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Make sure to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on to keep up with the content. And of course, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. Find me on all platforms with original music under the name All Fires. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.